Alright, so in this project I want to create a simple application that will display some stuff from GitHub users' profiles. Alright, now GitHub has a really easy to use, nice API that will return JSON content to us so that we can use it in our application. Alright, so if we go to, let's say, http api.github.com/users/ and then just put any GitHub user. I'm going to put mine in. You'll see that it'll return a JSON object with all that user's information. Alright, so what we want to do is we want to use AJAX to behind the scenes make a request to this URL and get this information so that we can use it in our application. Alright, so let's go ahead and in here we'll create a div and give it an ID of profile. Alright, and then down here in the script tags we're going to have a function called getProfile, and we want to set a username, and I'm just going to set it to my username. Alright, and then we're going to create the XML HTTP request object, put that in a variable. Okay, just like we did in the last video. And we're going to call onReadyStateChange. And set that to function. And then we're going to do a if statement, make sure everything's okay. So we're going to say if xHTTP dot ready state is equal to 4 and dot status is equal to 200. Then we're going to set a var called user and set this to xHTTP dot response text. Alright, now let's go ahead and put in document.getElement by ID. The ID we want is profile. We'll say .inner HTML, and for right now let's set that to user and see what we get. Alright, now down here we have to run the open. Okay, that's going to be a GET request, and here's where we need to put the URL. So it's going to be https api.github.com/users/ and then we want to concatenate that username variable. Alright, and then we just want to add in true. Okay, then we need to send it. So we defined getProfile, but we haven't called it, so we're going to go down to the bottom here and just say getProfile. Alright, so let's see what that gives us. So that gives us the actual response in text format, okay, which obviously isn't what we want, but I just wanted to show you that we are in fact getting the data. What we do want to do is turn this into JSON content so that we can actually use it to display in our application. So instead of just this response text, we want to wrap this in a JSON parse function. So JSON.parse. Alright, and then we should be able to get stuff like, let's say, username, which is let me see, right here you can see name, so dot name. Let's try that. Okay, so now you can see we can get the name, we can get any of those fields we want. So I'm actually going to bring in Bootstrap just to make it look a little better. So I want the Bootstrap CDN. Copy that, and let's go and add that up here. Okay, and then let's see. Let's do a panel. So I'm going to go to getbootstrap.com and components. Let's open this up a little bit. Let's see, panels. So I'm going to grab this right here. And what I'm going to do is paste that in here. Now, if we use quotes like this, we can't use multiple lines, okay? We're going to get errors. What we can do is use backticks. So if we use the tick that's to the left of the number 1 key, we'll use it there, and then here we can use multiple lines. All right, and this is actually a feature of ES6. All right, so let's just tab this stuff over. All right, so I want to make sure that that shows up. Okay. Let's put a container around the profile div though. Okay. Alright, and then what we'll do is in the title here, we'll put, since this is going to be a variable, it's going to be JavaScript, and we're using a template literal by using the backticks. We want to do $, and then a set of curly braces, and in here we should be able to do user.name. Okay, so now you can see that the username is now in the top here. So then what we'll do is in the body, we'll use the grid. We'll put a div class row. Div class call MD. We'll do 3. And then we'll do call MD 9. Alright, now we can actually get an avatar too. You can see right here, avatar URL. So in this column here, we'll just put an image tag with a source, and the source will be, we're going to use the $, curly braces, and user.avatar URL. Let's see if that works. Okay, so we get image, and in here, let's see what else we want. Let's do the website or the blog right here. We can do that, and we'll put this stuff in a list group. Okay, we'll say website user.blog. Okay, and then I'm just going to copy that li, and then we'll put, let's see, let's do the email. And you can make this look however you want. What else? I don't have a bio. You know what we could do is use Bootstrap labels, and we could put things like the number of repos. Yeah, let's do that. So let's see, labels, grab that, and I'm just going to get rid of these two list items, and we'll put the labels above the UL. So we'll say public repos, and we should be able to get that with this right here, public repos. User dot public underscore repos. All right, let's see what that does. Okay, so the image, we actually want to add a style up here because we need to make it 100% width so that it stays within its element. There we go. All right, and the LIs should also have a class of list group item. Put a line break and another one. Okay, and then we can also get public gists. Let's do that. So I'm going to copy this span right here. Okay, we'll just change this to gists. Okay, we can change the color as well. We'll change label, let's say danger, we'll make it red. Alright, and then we'll just put a button that goes to the actual profile, which we can get right here, HTML URL. So under the UL, we'll put a link. Okay, and that's going to go to user.html_URL, and let's give this a class of btn and btn default. Okay, we'll also make it open in a new tab. So we'll say target equals underscore blank. And there we go. Okay, now if we go and change the username right here, we'll say Bob, and that'll get us the user with the username Bob. Alright, now you probably want a way to change it without having to edit the code, so what we can do is add in an input form. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll go above the profile here. Let's create, actually let's put in a form tag, and then a div. We're going to give this a class of form group. And let's do a label, say GitHub username. Alright, and then we'll have an input with the type of text, and let's give it an ID of username. Okay, we're also going to give it a class of form control. Okay, so there's our input. Now I'm going to put a submit button under it. Actually, let's not do the submit. We'll use enter to submit. We should be able to do that. Yeah, so we need to set up an event listener, so we're going to go down to the bottom here, and let's do document.getElementById. Okay, now we're going to need an ID on the form, so we'll call this user form. So in here we'll say user form, and then .add event listener. and in here the event will be submit, and then the function will be get profile, and then false. Alright, so I'm going to get rid of this call to the function to automatically run. So now if I type in, okay, so did that run? Let's say console.log, and we'll say fetching. Oh no, because we have to prevent it from submitting. So we're going to pass in an e parameter and then just say e.prevent default. Okay, so when I submit, it works, but it's still looking for Bob. So what we need to do is we're going to set up, let's see, we're going to set up variable username, except we're going to set it to document.getElementById, username.value. Okay, and then we're going to do a little test here. We'll say if not username or username is equal to nothing, then username will equal whatever you want. I'm just going to put mine. Alright, so let's go ahead and reload, and let's say test. Okay, so that must be what comes up for test. Let's try and put Bob. Okay, that comes up for Bob. We'll put mine in, and there we go. Alright, so we can now search for GitHub users. So that's going to do it for this application. I hope it wasn't too much, but I think it gives us a good example on how AJAX works. We're updating this one part of the site. We're fetching data using the XML HTTP request object. Alright, so that's it. I'll see you in the next video.